Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking a quick look here at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about some back-end data here and this potential pattern that we're seeing here forming. One of my community members kind of brought us to our attention, a rising wedge pattern here on the hourly. I just want to kind of preface that smaller timeframes do provide less impact on the legitimacy of the patterns, if you will. So just be mindful, even if you see small patterns, like say you're on the 1 minute time frame and you see like a head and shoulders, it might work, but it's not going to dramatically impact the price in the overall sense, right? Smaller the time frame, less impactful, essentially. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Thanks again for watching. Hope you can like, subscribe, and follow. Deeply appreciate that. If you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is the site. We got some really cool trade signals going on here. Took some nice profit there from Solana, and our community members are actually up on some nice trades here right now from our premium group. So it's kind of nice. If you take a look here, well done, very well done. Who's this? Bajarni 1981. Thanks for sharing this again. Nice little profit there. Basically paying for the membership itself, and that's a series of trades. These are all the same trades here that we took on our premium group here just today for our premium plus. Okay, again, those are just day trade scalping. It's a scalping bot that I've created, of course, just kind of help get in and out of the market quickly, right? So make sure you watch those close and ensure you secure profit. Now, what I want to talk about here is the back end stuff. Let's see here. 46,000 still heavy concentration of liquidation, 42,000 secondary most. So we're almost smack dab right in the middle of that. So just know that in either direction, we got a lot of liquidation. Let's see in the last 12 hours what's going on. If we can kind of see what happened in the last 12 hours. It's interesting, not a whole heck of a lot, just small little concentrated areas. So 44,500 and just below about 44,000 even. Correction, 43,600, I'm sorry, 43.6 and 44.6. I'm rounding up a little bit. So we kind of got, we're closer to the upper range there than the lower range. So in a sense, anything could happen. So the simple way to understand is when you look at liquidation, you see that there's heavy concentrations just above and just below the price action. It can be difficult to determine which direction it's going to go based on that one thing. You never use that one thing in the first place, but it's helpful kind of like, okay, I'm leaning more towards this because liquidation is close. We don't have any close liquidation, so to speak, so that's not really a determining factor. What could be a determining factor is a few of the things that we talked about previously here. Let's double check where we're at on larger time frames. We're still above the 20-day SMA, so for lack of better terms here, Bitcoin is still bullish. And I like to say bunny ears because, of course, it could drop, the bottom could drop out any time, and we've seen some very aggressive candle wicks recently. In fact, this weekend, I'm not really setting out any swing trades because simple fact is we have that Bitcoin ETF, a lot of volatility we're expecting here in the next 24 to 48 hours. So when Asian markets open tomorrow evening, you better be ready. It's probably going to be an interesting one. We'll see, of course, what happens between now and then, but just be careful if you're trading right now. Try not to use too much leverage, and small position sizing is probably best if you can, right? That's how you survive these ebbs and flows. Having said all of that, if we're looking at the current daily time frame, everything's looking quite peaceful here, right? RSI is above 50, stochastic is swinging up-ish, and then money flow index is below the price action. So we want the money flow index to be higher, kind of giving us the average of money flowing into the coin. Right now we're kind of in this Bollinger Band compression, so to speak, where the price is squeezing, more likely for a breakout soon, okay? So at this point, there's nothing specifically telling what direction we may or may not go, but good news is here on the 4-hour time frame, we're back up above all 4 moving averages. It's extremely important. Those are things I look for when I take trades, okay? So it's a good contributing factor. Excuse me, we're up over the 50 on the RSI. We have been for a little while. We've kind of been treading water there, but it's more definitively above that level. Okay? So that's a good sign too. Stochastic RSI is swinging up at this point, so that's a positive. Money flow index is pulling back. So it's interesting, money flow index is coming down and the price is going up, right? It kind of just implies that there's not a lot of strength, not a lot of volume. As you can see here, we're just kind of progressing slowly to the upside. So it's all the more reason to kind of keep your head on a swivel right now, because I don't really trust it when volume starts to go down. Again, this is normal for a weekend. Strange things can happen, okay? So just pay attention to the volume if you can, do yourself a favor. It really helps a lot. We're converging on the MACD here, but that is not a definitive convergence. It's a very small margin there, right? You have to zoom in to see it. So I'm not super trusting of that either, but being above the moving averages and effectively above all 4 moving averages on the daily, those are really extremely important things for the moment, letting us know we're on the right side of tracks. We have a statistical probability of the price going up slightly higher than the price going down, okay? I like to emphasize the word slightly because there's nothing really obvious here. Like even if we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud, we don't have any kind of breakouts. We don't have anything kind of telling us it's going to move up. It does confirm all 3 factors that the conversion line's above the baseline. Lagging span is about an hour or two away from breaking free from the price action, and we're above the cloud. Again, positive contributing factors, but is that really something that we need to look at, right? I don't know. It just depends. If we take a look at the 15-minute time frame, quickly to note for our CAC Golden indicator, we do have a decent amount of buy signals here. But again, when you get range-bound activity, you will start to see more buy signals. So always use additional confirming factors before you take a trade just with this indicator. I'm speaking to the 40 or 50 people that have purchased this indicator through my website here. Just for friendly advice, it's really good at finding entries, but it's even better at finding exits. And we don't have any exits yet, which is a good sign, telling us the price should continue higher, because we have other contributing factors too on the hourly, the 4-hour, and the daily. Okay, so those are all good things there. So again, at this point, this is not a definitive yes, it's going to move up, but it is an interesting behavior to say the least. So let's quickly just go ahead and draw some trend lines here and see what's going on. Just because we want to kind of pay attention to this, we're going to just go ahead and confirm that we have retested 1, 2, 3, 4 times this ascending trend, still holding strong there. And as far as a rising wedge pattern, it's really easy to identify if we just pull up this little graph here. You can say we got a double top and a rising wedge, but truth is, with this being the hourly time frame, I'm not super concerned with a rising wedge. It very well could break down further from here. You know, we could see the price pull back here once we hit our second top. But again, I'm not really super focused on that right now. Okay, main reason why is because we got a lot of other contributing factors, and a lot of times when you look at candlestick patterns or just play out charts, different things of that nature, when you look at those type of patterns and you have a lot of good things showing it's moving in that same direction, it almost invalidates those patterns, especially if the pattern is on a smaller time frame. So to me, if I see a rising wedge on the 4-hour, I'd probably pay a lot more attention to that and use that as a confirming factor in conjunction with the other things instead of just using it alone or on the smaller time frames. So again, it's not a bad thing to consider that this is a potential breakdown, because a rising wedge is a bearish pattern, but on the same accord, there's a lot of other contributing factors. If we were below moving averages and we're kind of like in this little middle ground, I would probably say, yeah, it might be worthwhile considering. But at this point, we're making higher highs and higher lows. We're about to break this parallel high pattern here. And it does look like, excuse me, a breakout is coming. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm thinking there. All right, excuse me. So that's what we're looking at. All in all, pretty good stuff. Deeply appreciate you watching all the way through. If you did, if you didn't, shame on you for fast forwarding to the end to try to get the answers. Because again, you're doing yourself a disservice. The whole point of this is to help you understand how to do this yourself. Wouldn't you want to learn how to fish instead of just constantly asking for a fish, right? That's kind of the point here. Again, if you want some really good exchanges too, obviously make sure you check this out. In 23 hours, they're going to basically open registration for this awesome trading competition. You do have to use the link down below or in my Discord. It's up in our promos section. So check that out here. Definitely worthwhile. You have to use my link to register, but the reason why we use them as a community, it's because they have no VPN or KYC requirements. We have a lot of US and Canadian members, so it's kind of mainly for that. Okay. Obviously, if you're not in that restricted country type of situation, BingX and Bitget are good, healthy alternatives. I also have links for those too if you're curious on bonus rewards for registering. 5,500 is not too shabby though. Check that out. All right, folks, thanks again for watching. We'll see you all in the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. See ya.